Your children don't just inherit your wealth, they inherit your frequency. Your unfinished business becomes their baseline anxiety. Your unintegrated rage becomes their nervous system setting. Your unmet grief becomes their inexplicable sadness. This transmission happens below consciousness, before memory, through physics and not psychology. The traumatized father doesn't give his children trauma. He gives them his traumatized frequency as their standard, his distortion as their default, his chaos as their calm. They don't learn it, they download it, they don't develop it, they inherit it. Through the field, not through experience, through resonance, not through relationship, frequency, not family dynamics. Watch a child whose father has unintegrated rage. The child doesn't need to see the rage. He never needs to experience it directly. He never needs to witness a single explosion. The rage lives in the child's cells anyway, as baseline tension, as nervous system setting, as inherited architecture. The father could be perfectly controlled, never raise his voice, never show anger, but the child still inherits his frequency. Because frequency doesn't need expression to transmit. It transmits through proximity, through presence, through the quantum field that connects bloodlines. This is why children of successful men often fail. They inherited the anxiety that created the success, not the success itself. The desperation that drove achievement, the fear that fueled ambition, the scarcity that motivated accumulation, all of it downloaded, inherited, embodied, embedded. This is why the children of peaceful men often thrive. They inherited the coherence that created the peace, not the peace itself, the settled nervous system, the integrated architecture, the clean frequency as baseline, as normal, as default. The inheritance happens at conception, when sperm meets egg, when frequencies merge, when architectures combine. What you are in that moment becomes their foundation. In the womb, through the mother's every feeling, through the father's transmitted presence, through 9 months of a frequency bath. The fetus doesn't just develop organs, it downloads operating systems, it inherits architectures, it absorbs frequencies. Through breast milk, every feeding is a frequency transmission, every nursing a nervous system download, every suckle a signal transfer. The mother's unprocessed grief flavours the milk. Her unmet needs flow through the nourishment. Her unintegrated shadows feed the child. Through proximity, every moment you're near your children, you're transmitting your entire frequency signature, your complete unintegrated history, your full architectural blueprint. They're not just listening to your words, they're absorbing your very signal. They're not just watching what you do, they're downloading who you are. They're not just learning your lessons, they're inheriting your frequency. The family dinner when everyone's polite but the father's resentment fills the room. The bedtime story read with presence but transmitted through exhaustion. The perfect family holiday contaminated by unspoken marital collapse. The children receive all of it, not the performance, the frequency, not the pretense, the physics, not the show, but the signal. The conscious father knows this. He understands the physics. He takes responsibility for the transmission. He doesn't work on being a better father. He works on cleaning his frequency. He doesn't focus on parenting techniques. He focuses on integration. He doesn't perfect his knowledge of children. He purifies his signal. Because he knows his children will become his frequency, not his philosophy. They'll manifest his vibration, not his values. They'll live his actual architecture, not his advertised one. The daughter of the man who never grieved will grieve for generations. The son of the man who never raged will rage without reason. The children of the man who never integrated will integrate his shadows as their own. 20 years from now, your son won't be struggling with his issues. He'll be struggling with yours, the ones you never resolved, the ones you never integrated, the ones you transmitted instead of transmuted. His anxiety is not his, it's yours. His depression is not his, it's your grandfather's. His rage isn't his, it's your father's 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 rage. Passed down through frequency transmission, through the inheritance deeper than DNA. Your daughter won't be healing her wounds, she'll be healing yours. The ones you passed down as frequency, the ones you installed as architecture, the ones you embedded as baseline. Her relationship patterns aren't hers, they're your mother's. Her money struggles aren't hers, they're your grandmother's. Her body shame isn't hers. It's 7 generations of women who never loved their physical forms. This is physics. It's not karma. This is frequency that transfers, patterns that propagate, architecture that replicates. Through bloodlines stronger than DNA, through transmission subtler than teaching, through inheritance deeper than wealth. The men who understand this stop trying to be good fathers. They start becoming coherent men. Stop trying to raise successful children and instead start cleaning your own frequency. Stop trying to teach them life lessons and integrate your own shadow. Stop trying to give them advantages and start giving them clean architecture. Your legacy isn't what you build for them, it's the frequency you become. Your inheritance isn't what you leave them, it's the signal you transmit. Your gift isn't what you give them in your will, it's the integration you complete so they don't have to. Every pattern you integrate is a burden your children won't carry. Every shadow you transmute is a distortion they won't inherit. Every frequency you clean is a freedom they'll naturally embody. Every trauma you resolve is a prison they'll never know. Every fear you face is a courage they'll assume. Every grief you complete is a joy they'll inhabit. This is the real wealth, the actual inheritance, the true legacy. Not money in trust funds, but coherence in bloodlines. Not properties in portfolios, architecture in DNA. Not the advantages that you give them in the world. The frequency that creates worlds. The work you do on yourself echoes through eternity. The integration you complete frees generations. The frequency you clean becomes their foundation. Or the distortion you ignore becomes their prison. Clean up your signal. Your children's children's children depend upon it. Welcome to The Architect Speaks.